Welcome to the DNVR Broncos pregame show presented by our friends over at Coors Light. I had no idea we were starting the show. I looked over and just saw three fingers.
Three,
like,
and you're like, what's he doing? And then it's two.
Yeah, I know what comes after that. I'm Henry Chisholm, joined by Ryan Koenigsberg, and of course, Super Bowl 50 champion, Bennie Fowler.
My guys, what's good?
What is good, man?
What is good?
I am so ready for this football game.
Yeah, you and I both need today, and we need today to go really well because both of our teams, both of our colleges lost last night. So
See, you played last night? That's crazy. I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, we need a good Sunday. We need a good Broncos showing today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely need a good game. Also, a lot of Cowboys fans here. Kind of shocked me when we got here, but everywhere you look, there might be more Cowboys fans than Broncos fans.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No? It's balancing out a little bit.
Don't degrade our tailgate in that way.
Right. Don't degrade the tailgate.
It's because the Blues are blending in.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That is it.
So I came into this not feeling so good about this game. I picked the Cowboys to win this game. First time I haven't picked the Broncos this season.
Wow.
Famously.
But I will say, in walking around, I've talked to a few Cowboys fans. You will not find a more scared group of people.
Oh, bro.
It's pretty crazy, like just the trauma. And so having spoken to a couple Cowboys fans now, I now feel back to myself. The Broncos are winning this game.
So are you going to change your score and your prediction now?
Yeah,
The graphics
I
out there,
know
brother.
graphics out there. The tweets are tweeting.
You're going to get receipted if they win.
Right.
When they
By the way,
win.
Yaya did not get my score prediction right. He put 24-14. I said 38-35 Broncos.
Oh, wow. A classic, a barn burner.
Yeah.
Can never count on that guy, you know?
What's a big storyline today? What are you watching for?
The thing I'm watching for the most is the Cowboys receivers versus the Denver Broncos corners. You got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens versus Pat Surtain and Riley Moss. I mean, when you think about, I would say the Dallas Cowboys have the best receiver duo in the NFL right now. Pickens, when CeeDee Lamb was out, went absolutely crazy. He's playing like a number one receiver. He's in his contract year, and he is playing like it. Super dynamic playmaker. He has late hands. For those who out there want to know what late hands are, it's when, you know, the receiver is running his route and he doesn't have to. He puts his hands out as late as possible before he catches the ball. I think George Pickens is a freak of nature of athlete. Yeah, go ahead.
And the reason why you do that, well, I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why you do that is because when you put your hands up, that's when the DB is going to put his hands in there and try to swipe down. If you put it in there as late as possible, then the DB really has no chance. Randy Moss was really good at this. Stephon Diggs is really good at this. But George Pickens is right up there in terms of talent and freakish ability. And then you have CeeDee Lamb on the other side, somebody who is a number one receiver as well, who led the league in receiving yards. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I believe he led the league where he had 1,600, 1,700 yards. So you have these dynamic playmakers. I'm curious to see how Vance Joseph, what the matchup is. I would lean putting Pat Surtain on George Pickens. Because of the freakish ability. I think George Pickens would take advantage of Riley Moss. CeeDee Lamb is still coming off a high ankle sprain. So you put Riley Moss on him. But a couple weeks ago, we talked about this being a Sean Payton game in terms of offense. This is a Vance Joseph game. How are you going to match up, and how are you going to take their dynamic playmakers and explosive ability out? If you're talking about being a top defense in the league, how do you negate this offense?
Do you consider maybe not following and just saying, like, let's get each of these guys on their most comfortable side of the field and live with the matchup as it is?
Well, I mean, Pat's comfortable everywhere. I just don't want I don't want to get into a situation where the Cowboys are specifically putting Pickens on Riley.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I want to avoid at all costs. So maybe first and second down.
Yep.
you keep them on separate sides, and then third down, you match up.
Yeah.
Right. And it might not even be the same matchup every third down.
Yeah.
You might say, hey, cover 0 here. We're sending the house.
Please don't go cover 0.
No, not once.
Not
once.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, Dak is too good against the blitz. He's seeing the field extremely well, but if you go cover 0, now you're leaving yourself on an island with 2 of the best receivers in the league. I would stay away from that as much as possible.
I think we're going to see it, though.
And that leads into my big storyline, which is, can you not let it be these receivers versus these corners? Can you get the pass rush involved enough to say, hey, we're going to take care of our side of the ball, or our side of the defense, and give these guys a better chance? Now, Dak has been one of the best in the league about getting the ball out fastest this year. I think he's tied with Bo for second least sacks taken in the NFL. So it's probably not going to be legitimately getting there and sacking Dak. Can you get your hands up and knock some passes down? Can you just get back there and pressure him, get him off his spot so he can't just sit back there and find his matchup and address it? So last week, I actually watched the post-game show from last week again this morning because it was just on my Samsung TV when I turned on the TV, and you guys were so entertaining that I couldn't turn it off. But Benny, you talked about how like the rush plan was to keep Jackson Dart in the pocket. That is not the case today.
Yeah, no.
So you're going to be able to pin your ears back and try to go get him. And this pass rush is going to have to do some favors to the Riley bosses out there and help him out.
Ball comes out quick, though.
Yep.
Like compared to almost any other team in the NFL, like you will not find many quarterbacks getting the ball out faster than Dak Prescott. Only 8 sacks taken this season, same as Bo Nix. I think there are 2 quarterbacks in the NFL who've taken less than Bo and Dak have.
Is there an echo in here?
A little bit.
I tweeted that after I sent a bad tweet before it. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I'm sorry, I'm going to go a little bit off topic about this, but the Cowboys offense, or just the change in play calling.
Yeah.
With the same, obviously you add Pickens, but the change in play calling is actually crazy because I question Schottenheimer being the coach.
Yeah.
And what he's been able to do with the offense is kind of crazy.
It's unbelievable.
That's what we want Sean to do.
Absolutely.
That's what we expected Sean to do, is what Schottenheimer's doing with Dak. That's exactly what we expected.
But Dak's at an incredibly advanced level of playing quarterback, and Bo's not quite there yet.
True, but Dak didn't look like that last year at all. McCarthy's offense was like, shotgun, Aaron Rodgers style. Hey, we're going to run slant here and stick over here, or we're going to run triple slant.
Right.
And now they put in, they don't change the personnel a ton.
Well, it's a lot easier to leave your receivers on the field when it's CeeDee Lamb and George. Like, you're not taking them off. If they had Troy Franklin in there, then maybe they'd say, we got to go somebody else for a moment. But I think this really is terrifying. To me, the big storyline is, like you said, it's just is this defense what we hope this defense is? Because when you go up against the number 1 offense in the NFL, if you go out there, hold them to 13 points, then we can start having some conversations about this defense carrying the Broncos to something pretty special. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that it's a good defense, but against a really good offense, you're still giving up 23 points.
23 points is enough to win.
I agree. Good performance, but not special.
I got 2015 vibes, Broncos versus Steelers at Pittsburgh, where he played against Antonio Brown and Martavius Bryant. But Antonio Brown that game had 17 catches for, I believe, 198 and 2 touchdowns, and we ended up losing that game. But it was a shootout back and forth. Brock played really well. I think Emmanuel had 180 yards receiving. DT had a big game and got into the end zone. So it was a lot of back and forth. But number 1 defense that year, obviously, that we had. But when you have 2 dynamic receivers, which Martavius Bryant was a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Straight line speed down the field, and then you obviously had Antonio Brown. That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling.
I'm feeling more 2015 Broncos against Aaron Rodgers in the Packers.
75 yards. That was a young Devontae Adams. Who else was on that team? Jordy Nelson.
Right.
Yeah. I've never
Who was the running back at that time? Was that after
was that
Eddie
Lacy?
Lacy?
Yeah, I think Lacy had to still be there maybe.
Probably too early, too early for Aaron Jones.
Right.
I don't know, but
Ooh, that was nice. Sunday night.
That man, Aaron Rodgers, he wanted to get out of there so badly.
Yeah. That was
he was in
peak
hell.
Prime Rodgers, too.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that was a crazy game.
That was a crazy game. Let's hit some notes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, don't have the inactives yet, so we don't know officially who's playing, who's not playing. But earlier in the week, we got some news. First of all, Broncos entirely healthy. Although
Huge.
Dre Greenlaw is suspended from this game for saying whatever he said to
Load
the
management
officials.
game.
Yeah,
Load
load
management
management.
What happened with Surtain? Why did he get fined?
Because the ref ran into him, and then he like extended his arm to like push the ref away. $15,000. Just
The ref ran into me.
Yep.
Well, he should get fined too.
I agree. I agree. Immunity.
What do you think? No Dre Greenlaw this week. Is that big news, little news? How does it affect the game?
I don't think it's crazy big news, only because these guys have been playing extremely well before Greenlaw even got back. Stranad with the huge pick last week, to really help turn that game around. So, Dre being out for this week doesn't necessarily scare me that much because these guys have been playing without Dre Greenlaw. And also, Dre Greenlaw being out for a week, load management, as RK says. He can rest a little bit. Now we don't have to worry about how much are we putting on his body week to week. So he can get a week of rest and get away for a little bit.
Yeah, there's an old adage of baseball, like if you're in the lineup and you hit a home run, you got to be in the lineup next game.
Right.
There's one in soccer too. If you're in the lineup and you score a goal, you got to be in next game. I say if you're in the lineup and you get a pick, you got to be in next game. So it works out great for Justin Surtain. And you said it on the podcast this week, Henry. Like, this defense is a defense without Dre Greenlaw. That's what they've been all year. So I think it's a nothing story just because we don't know what this defense even is with Dre Greenlaw.
Totally. There's a part of me that would like to see if Javonte Williams has a big day, which he's done before. He's the number 2 rusher in the NFL.
Wow.
Oh yeah, number 2 rusher, number 2 in efficiency, number 3 in touchdown.
Do you think he just needed a fresh start, or would he been able, because he's now a couple years removed from the ACL? Would he have looked? Yeah.
I think you're 3 years
of both,
now.
in my opinion.
Okay, 3 years now removed from the ACL injury, and it's not just ACL. If it was ACL, then you'd say, hey, recovery's more like a year, maybe 2 years. You look like yourself. But it's the ACL, it's the PCL, it's another thing in there, another L. I think
so many L's.
He's just looking like himself. He has the burst back, and I don't blame the Broncos for saying we can't wait another year to see if you're going to be yourself. They had to make a change.
Yep.
But he's running the ball well, and if he has a big game, then I'm going to be saying, what if Dre Greenlaw was there?
Well, yeah, and if the Broncos had him under contract, they would have waited another year.
Right.
But there's no way that you make that your plan at running back with so little evidence. I'll say this. There couldn't be a more perfect situation for Javonte to be in. Is there anyone other than Derrick Henry better suited to run against light boxes, which is what you have to do against this team on defense?
Right. I mean, just running through arm tackles and talking to guys in the locker room all week. That's what they're saying. It's like you got to get a shoulder into him. If you try to get an arm on him, he's going to run right through it. They said, luckily, we just dealt with that last week with Cam Scattaboo. So you're kind of in the mindset to bring him down.
Yeah, you better be ready, though. I mean, he's going to be running extremely hard, and this is a revenge game for him.
Right.
Scattaboo's, still nuts and, always looking for contact. But Javonte Williams coming back here, looking for revenge. Definitely will be looking to the sideline after first down runs and letting Broncos Country here just, feeling slighted.
Right. I honestly think it was calculated on the part of Sean Payton this week when he just heaped praise onto Javonte Williams. He's like, I'm not adding any more fuel to that fire. In fact, if I can, I'm going to put a little fire extinguisher on some of his fire and just talk about how much we all love him.
Reverse psychology there.
Yep, we all love him. We don't want to hurt him. We don't want to hit him hard. Yeah. More injury news. A lot of injuries on the Cowboys side, and that's where we're kind of wondering who's going to be in, who's going to be out. We do know, though, no Trayvon Diggs.
I wish he was actually playing.
Oh, see, this is a fun Trayvon Diggs tip because, it's either a pick or he's getting cooked, right?
Well, 100%. And he's a double move candidate. So when you think about guys like Cortland Sutton or Troy Franklin on the outside, he has those Marcus Peters vibes. I mean, he'll bite on any route. You can get him to jump on any route. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'd like to see him in there. He plays his own type of coverage. You can get by him at any point in time. So I'm not saying that we can't still take advantage of the defense. Obviously, I think Sean will have a great game plan, and their defense and their secondary sucks. So it's all good. But when you have a guy like Trayvon Diggs out there, you know that he's going to play lazier. You can really play to his tendencies. Yeah.
It reminds me of a conversation I had with a now former CSU quarterback who said, we're so ready to play the Buffs because, that Travis Hunter, he just jumps everything. We're going to get him with a double move.
Shiloh. He was talking about
Travis.
And
But then he said, so first player. Guess what didn't work? The double move on Travis Hunter. So
he said it before the game?
Not officially.
No, he said it to Henry and I. Random encounter.
Travis Hunter, doesn't matter if you double move or not. He's the best athlete out there. He can catch up. It's like Deion Sanders getting beat on a double move. Yeah, you can beat me, but I can still catch you.
Yeah. Right.
there's a crazy video of Travis from practice one day where he actually gets beat on the double move and then like slingshots himself around the wide receiver, gets past him, and then mosses him for an interception.
But yeah,
crazy.
That's right. I get what you're saying. I'm not the biggest Trayvon Diggs fans, but if you're replacing him with Triquise Bridges, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Is it because of the name?
It's because I've never heard the name.
Also, speaking of teams that you were on, Benny, how about throwback to 2016 Broncos here at home against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys? And
Bad memory from me.
okay, well, why?
So I started the game off with a couple catches, and then I had that catch in the, I guess it was the south end zone, where I scored, I believe, and I told Vance to challenge it, but I fell on my head. And remember, I got up and I fell into the ref, and then I fell into my coaches.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
concussed. The rest of my season / my career was not the same. Crazy concussion. I played the next week. That's how I knew the concussion protocol was a joke.
Yeah.
I lost balance and lost my equilibrium twice, and I played the following week.
Jeez. Well, sorry to bring up a bad memory, but it was a good memory for the Broncos.
Yeah, it was 42-17.
you do remember, though.
It was like
Oh, yeah.
it was something like, I don't know, 17 carries for 34 yards for Zeke, and Akeem had a 98-yard pick six off
Yep.
of Dak. Like, that's what you need today. You need to hold Javonte and expose Dak Prescott when he gets a little over aggressive.
Yep.
That was a crazy matchup. That was like a statement game. I think we lost 8 straight after that.
You guys went to 3-1, I think, in that game.
And then New York came into
No,
town,
no.
and then it was like downhill
Just-
from there.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, it was the year after we won the Super Bowl. We were 3-1. I was like, oh, this shit's just easy. Like,
No,
we're never gonna
no.
lose it.
You're
It was-
2017.
It was 1 year later.
Yeah, 2017. Because we went 9-7 that after the Super Bowl, and then we went 5-11 the following year. So it was the 5-11 year.
Okay.
So 2017.
Jeez.
So no
You're right, 'cause
Trayvon
you
Diggs.
said it was Vance.
No Trayvon Diggs. Also no Siobhan Ravel, big draft pick from ECU. He's still dealing with the knee injury. I believe he still hasn't played this season, but they thought he might be back. He would have been a great option to back him up. No Donovan Wilson, the safety. No Tyler Guyton, the tackle. A bunch of other guys. Point is, it's not just Trayvon Diggs. This is a secondary that's pretty beat up and might be missing more guys by the time we kick off. Other note, throwback uniforms.
I'm so pissed I didn't play for the Broncos with this ownership. Well, don't get me wrong, that's bad. That's a wrong thing to say because Pat Bowlen, great owner, the Bolins, great owners. But
You just
I don't
wanted
think
to
we-
wear these unis.
I'd love. Swag these out so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shout out to them for what they're putting on today.
I have my first ever negative take about these uniforms, but I'm not going to say it. Because
I know what it
it's
is.
only positive. No, I might have to say it after the
We
game,
might.
depending on the circumstances. But
So if they lose, you're going to say it.
I'm not putting that into the air. Not putting that into the air. But other than that, best uniform in the league.
Absolutely.
And it's right next to, I think, the Eagles Kelly Greens, which they're wearing today.
Okay. Yeah, it was
You're not
good
a big
too.
fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers orange creamsicle?
Those are good. The thing is, like, the Buccaneers were the worst franchise in football when they wore those, and I just don't understand, like, how you can
bring
be
those back?
positively
Yeah.
associated with that.
I was watching a Thursday Night Football game with the Chargers wearing what are now throwbacks.
Yeah,
the,
those look good, too.
Navy blue, which they wore for my entire childhood. And I had that same thought. I was like, why don't you wear these every week? Not 4 or 5 years ago, I was saying every week, how are you wearing these navy blue ones when you could be wearing like the powder blue and yellow throwbacks? They made that switch, and now all of a sudden I want right back to the other stuff.
Yeah, it's
The powder blues are
They are
fire.
nice. They are nice.
They're fire.
There is something too. You see it every week though.
Yeah.
And that curveball they throw at those throwback navy blues, you're like, well, these are incredible.
How
They did
many
look great.
how many games do you get to do the throwbacks now?
You
4?
get four alternates, and they'll use the blue uniforms for one, so you'll get 3 in the throwbacks this year. Is our best guess.
3 in the ones that we're wearing today.
Yep. So this
they
is the
already
first.
announced it.
Did they?
Yep. It's this game, the Raiders game, and one other one.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Got to wear them against the Raiders.
The Broncos ownership does a really good job of like knowing when to bring these out. You know, you got the 425 game on Fox.
Right.
Great opportunity to do it.
Everybody's watching.
Versus the Raiders. It's really smart to do it like that.
Yep. Real quick before we talk about this offense a little bit, because there's a lot to talk about with this offense. Got to give a shout out to our friends over at Coors Light, like I said, presenting sponsor of this show. I actually heard a rumor that we're starting to run low on the Coors Lights because everybody loves them so much. When you want to choose chill, choose Coors Light. We're going to be drinking some Coors Light for the watch along later. Make sure you tune in for that. 3 of us sitting there for 3 hours talking about this game. Coors Lights will be featured there. Coors Lights all over the place. Had a couple Coors Lights yesterday. Went to the Nuggets games.
Great game.
Yeah, love a Coors Light. So
I got a chance to see the Nuggets in person this week as well.
And I had so many things I wanted to say. Like that you got to see the best shooter of all time.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon.
It was crazy.
I know,
I'll tell you guys off air. It was nuts.
Yes. But then, unfortunately, I don't get to talk as much as I wanted to about that game.
Steph I can't believe he's still doing this at this age.
It's just like the gold medal game at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Steph comes back. Serbia looks like they have it in hand. And Steph just decides to do Steph things. Unfortunate. But Coors Light, though. I needed to chill after that. I choose Coors Light. Make the most out of times. You choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado. Beer. All right. We got to talk about this offense because I think that...
Our offense.
Yeah. Because in a lot of ways, this to me is a statement game. Is the defense able to shut down what I think might be the best offense in the NFL? But also, what is this offense? It's an offense that has struggled for the most part in the past 3 games. Got hot in a couple fourth quarters, so was able to balance that out. But also, like a 16-quarter stretch. Is that what it was? 16-drive stretch.
Yeah.
Where they didn't score a
quarters would be insane.
Didn't score a touchdown. So I got to see something today.
Yeah.
Am I crazy for saying this is going to kind of like change the trajectory of the season? They go out there, put 30 up, and we're saying, okay, you're right there. If they look like duds, I'm terrified that they're just not a good offense.
If they don't play well today, we will be trading for a receiver or a tight end tomorrow.
Big brain in me says, maybe that's what we need either way. So.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I think. You win this game, which I think the Broncos will win, you go to 6-2.
Yep.
Now you are playing for playoff. You know the
Right.
AFC is still really wide open.
You're starting to think about the 1 seed if you win this game.
100%. So if the Broncos offense don't look good today, look for a trade in the next 9 days, 10 days, whenever the trade deadline is. That's what I think, and you're going to be looking to add a dynamic playmaker. We can jump into names throughout the week.
Oh, we will.
But the offense has to get off to a great start. You got to score. This is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. You got your first 15 plays, Sean, should work today. Whatever you dial up today, Sean, should work. I don't want to hear about the pass rush. They don't have one. They don't have anybody in the secondary. I don't know anybody on this defense besides Trayvon Diggs, and he's not playing. So, well, Deron Bland.
Yeah.
I know him.
Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, the ghost of Kenny Clark.
Yeah. We should be able to take care of that. So today, Sean, everything you dial up should work. This should almost look like the Bengals game from an offense against a defense perspective. It should look like that. It should look efficient, be able to score. I guess it should look like that for the second, third, and fourth quarter because against the Bengals, it wasn't good in the first quarter.
Right.
So you want a complete game here, though. That's what you want to see from the Denver Broncos offense. You want to see Bo efficient, complete, get the ball out of his hands, and then Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, we want to see consistency throughout the game. Cortland Sutton, we know he's there. But the other receivers, you guys got to show up and continue to make big plays, not just when we need you in the fourth quarter.
Is there a world in which the wide receivers coach comes into the room and he's like, hey, you guys like all these reps you're getting? Like if you don't go take care of business this week, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for a wide receiver and bring someone new in here.
Yeah. I think you would already be having those conversations. At least the receiver coaches that I played for would kind of just be very open and honest. Hey, guys, we're not explosive enough, and upstairs, this is what upstairs is talking about.
Yeah.
So, hey, this is completely out of my hands. Hey, I love you guys. You guys have the talent and ability, but we're 8 weeks in now, and you are what you put on tape. That is a saying throughout the NFL. You are what you put on tape. And if you're not getting open, you're not creating separation, you're not taking things to the house, hey, we got to help our young quarterback out. We're not going to put more on his plate. You need receivers to start making plays.
You also need that quarterback to start helping those receivers out a little bit because there are too many missed throws. I go through Chris Olave, a name that gets thrown out as if like a trade deadline candidate. You watch the highlights and you're like, oh, wow, look at him get behind the defense. And you see him make the catch and run into the end zone, and then you think, Well, we've seen those guys open deep.
Yeah.
We just haven't always seen the quarterback connect with them when they're open deep. Now, it's not saying that they're like the perfect receiver.
Create the clear picture.
They could do so much more.
I'm always going to put it on the receiver. When you got a young quarterback, until that quarterback gets to year 4 or 5, I mean, go back to a young Patrick Mahomes in year 1, 2, 3, and 4. You throw these 2-yard, 5-yard, 10-yard passes to Tyreek Hill, and then he does the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We talked about this in the offseason, about trading for Cooper Kupp. Who's going to be that guy between 10 and 20 yards that's going to make the play? We don't have that yet. And I don't think that's in this receiver room yet. That's one of the reasons why I was banging on the table for a Cooper Kupp. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. It doesn't matter if you know he's getting the ball. He's still going to catch it. Emmanuel Sanders was like that on teams that I played on. Odell Beckham was like that, or Sterling Shepard. Guys who are still playing in the league. Not Odell, but Sterling. Sterling in year 9 or 10, creating separation at any point in time in that intermediate area of the field.
I just have probably my worst idea that I've ever had. But you brought up Odell Beckham, who's on the street.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
Move
All
on.
right. Real quick, to your point about like what the offense needs to show today, I always talk about my number 24. Today's a perfect example of it on both sides of the ball. The defense, your task is to keep the Cowboys under 24 points. The offense, your task is to score more than 24 points. It lines up perfectly because you're going up against such good offense that's a huge challenge, and you're going up against such a bad defense that shouldn't be that much of a challenge. So like that's why I had the game 27-24 Broncos.
Yep.
Like you have to find a way to eclipse that, and to your point, you have to find a way to start fast. Like you cannot do this sputter out of the gate, 3-and-out thing, or else you're going to find yourselves in a hole that you're probably not going to be able to dig yourself out of this time.
I agree.
Sean, just run the ball, bro.
Okay.
Just honestly. I would go 3 straight runs.
To start the game.
Just so to get Sean out of his own way. Don't do RPO. Hand the ball off. Hand the ball off.
Yeah. If it's an RPO, Bo's choosing the P.
For sure.
I think
Because he's a dog.
one of the things that Sean said this week is that, that there are things that aren't working in the offense, and a lot of it's execution. And so the play calling, a lot of that probably stays the same. He said you might see some changes to the personnel. I'm curious what those changes could be. Who do you think the changes could be?
Hey, man, don't have Evan Ingram block on any screens for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's my boy. He's not blocking, man.
He is not.
Let it go.
Yep.
Okay? Let it go.
Someone's got to block those, though.
Yeah, Pat Bryant's your guy.
All right.
I like it.
Pat Bryant is your guy. You have Pat out there blocking on the perimeter. He's blocked on a lot of the explosive runs, whether it's a quarterback sweep, whether it's Marvin Mims. Put Pat Bryant out there, and then you can have the fake bubble slant. He runs the slant.
Yeah.
Man, he's your willing blocker. He plays in the Big Ten. You have to block. And he's one of those kids, I believe, when he got drafted, said no block, or don't block, no rock.
No, yep.
So he already has that mindset that this is the way I'm going to play, and this is the way I've been playing. So, yeah, put that out there. Marvin Mims should be your screen runner. I don't care if they know it. Don't have Evan block any screens. Don't have Court block any screens. They don't want to block, man. It is what it is.
It's so tough watching last week when Cortland Sutton, 220-pound receiver, is going up against Drew Phillips, 180-pound DB.
That's
just
a 1-2.
blowing right by him.
This is an effort. That's an effort and 1-2 thing. Shout out to DT. He was a dog at that.
He was.
Yeah, bro.
He was.
I was thinking about that this week. When we were talking about the screens, and I'm just like, I cannot imagine being one of these wiry corners, seeing Demaryius Thomas run out there at you on a screen. And then when he has the ball, it might even be worse.
100%.
All right, before we get out of here, got to give you guys our pregame picks presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, get $200 in bonus bets. I got 3 of them today, 25 bonus completions. I think when fans say no more screens, Sean hears,
More
I'm going to
screens.
prove you all wrong. This is
Watch how
going to be
good these
record-setting
screens designs are.
There's going to be so many completions. Again, like it's a depleted secondary. If you can't complete passes today, when will you? 25 completions plus 160. An Evan Ingram touchdown. It is National Tight Ends Day. I don't know how much Sean cares about that, but we have seen tight ends score touchdowns.
He does care.
I just cashed my George Kittle anytime touchdown.
There we
That
go.
was the easiest one of the day.
Plus 190 on the Evan Ingram touchdown. I've also got the Tyler Bidet touchdown.
Wow.
10-1 odds. He only
Wow.
has one in his career. I think it was actually the first touch of his career in 2022.
Will it be on the screen?
I think it will be on the screen. I think when you talk about personnel changes, this is one. And I'll throw a bonus in. If you parlay the Broncos to win the game with 4 catches from Pat Bryant. 20-1 odds. I agree. He's going to be in the lineup today. He's going to get opportunities. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. That's going to do it for today. We will be live for the watch-along for a few hours, so make sure you hang out with us on YouTube. Post-game show immediately after the game. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in a
Broncos,
second.
but God bless.
We all silly like the mayor.